This is a printed list of things that Elon Musk have said online, made by Vanity Fair, calling a British diver a pedo guy.
Elon Musk was on Twitter today calling one of the divers in that cave rescue a pedophile.
Musk has denied that he meant to call a British cave diver a pedophile.
It's not finished.
And saying that US government should be providing substitutes after Musk receiving billions himself.
Musk had already gotten billions in subsidies, tax breaks, and other handouts.
I'm literally saying get rid of all subsidies.
Here's a much more interesting and up-to-date page from Rational Wiki with a full view of his Twitter saga and arguably the best way to understand the world's richest man.
The most influential names in the 21st century.
He lives his life between the tweets.
Elon of today is not beloved by everybody. He's not considered the Edison of our time.
Musk blocked access to his Starlink satellite network in Crimea.
Are you sincerely trying to save the world?
I'll say what I want to say, and if the consequence of that is losing money, so be it.
Elon Musk is running Twitter into the ground.
Elon has had a misadventure here. I think he's a different Elon now, and he unnecessarily destroyed his reputation.
I love you. Love you too.
He's a little different than a lot of other people.
Elon is an unusual fellow. I'm not sure I want to be me.
Do we even got?
Hi, Elon Musk speaking.
Elon Musk made a remarkable descent from basically a genius entrepreneur that everyone aspires to be like into this dark conspiracy theorist, extreme right-wing supporter who also shitposts on Twitter like a 22-year-old unemployed kid. All that whole process took about 5 years. People who supported him, respected him, were proud of their Teslas. Well, some of them are still around, but a lot of them are sick of hearing Musk's name come up and his new off-the-hook persona. So I wanted to understand what actually happened and why, instead of making I hate Elon Musk video like a lot of them on YouTube already. Looking at Musk's history, it's obvious that there was this inflection point where his personality began to overshadow his accomplishments. And no one knows exactly what that happened, but there were two key interesting events. One in 2016, when he was speaking at Recode conference, when he actually mentioned that a possibility that we all are living in simulation.
The strongest argument for us being in a simulation, I think, is the following. 40 years ago, we had Pong, like two rectangles and a dot. That was what games were. Now, 40 years later, we have photorealistic 3D simulations with millions of people playing simultaneously, and it's getting better every year. If you assume any rate of improvement at all, then the games will become indistinguishable from reality.
And what Musk saw was this new opportunity. If I just talk like a character from Star Trek, people will trust that I know what I'm talking about. That is an assumption from the journalist Nick Bilton from Vanity Fair. And the second one was 2018, and much more profound, when Musk awkwardly injected himself into this Thai cave rescue narrative and called a British diver a pedo guy. And then he also he said he's going to take Tesla private, saying 420 a share, funding secured. At about that time, Musk said to himself, "F it," and he gave up this fake persona as a conventional CEO that he tried for years and years to be a normal guy, to be on the cover of Wired, and then he put the real Musk out there, and he couldn't resist. Being yourself is addictive, even if you're gaining haters faster than followers. Matt Levin, Bloomberg columnist, he explains this dichotomy quite well. Musk has always been a guy who does nonsense on Twitter, and he actually runs a bunch of companies that do real things. But I think there's more to it. Walter Isaacson's biography describes Musk's social downfall as this tragic flaw that drives him to continually inflict pain on himself, and the lack of empathy coupled with craving for excitement, the genuine intelligence matched by over-the-top arrogance, I'm quoting here. It drives him to achieve great things and to mess up badly. But the truth is more simple than that, and Vanity Fair nails it again here. Musk isn't Henry Ford, he's Kanye West, a star addicted to his own stardom who pulls the indecent levers of social media to amplify his audience and stroke his ego. Someone who will do or say anything to the detriment of their lives, their companies, and the rest of us, as long as people are talking about them. Because you see, Musk has two personalities. One that is innovator, businessman, overachiever, and the other one is attention-seeking kid who's insecure, in desperate need for attention, and is shitposting on Twitter all day. And unfortunately, those two are at odds. Take all this publicity with Dogecoin, the cryptocurrency that had actually zero utility value, and it was also minted constantly, which meant that it had an infinite inflation. Tweeting that Tesla should accept Dogecoin, pumping Dogecoin was cool. Also, being named a godfather of Dogecoin is interesting, but there was actually no reason other than just seeking attention. As one of the Tesla investors put it, Musk is more concerned with being famous than with building successful businesses that stand the test of time, like Ford or General Motors. Also, the fact that Musk has ego size of Texas doesn't help. He tweeted last year about a severe imminent economic downturn lasting about 18 months in the United States. Quote, mild recession is already here. Further rate hikes will trigger serious recession, mark my words. Official data, though, they showed that US economy was doing well, unemployment rate hasn't jumped either. So then Musk replied to his own tweet saying something doesn't add up. Nobel Prize winning economist Krugerman described this phenomenon very well. Technology billionaires are especially susceptible to the belief that they are uniquely brilliant, able to instantly master any subject from COVID to the war in Ukraine. Their belief in their own genius makes them highly gullible, easy marks for gifters, claiming that the experts are all wrong. Now, about that war in Ukraine, I am Ukrainian, born and lived in Kiev for 24 years. I haven't listened to a podcast or read a book or a tweet. I am from there. And what Musk posted about the so-called peace proposal agreement between Russia and Ukraine, well, that says that Ukraine should accept the Russia terms, well, basically showed to me that not only he doesn't completely understand the nature of the war, he doesn't understand how foreign policy works at all, in a totally laughable way. Musk reposted exact words of Vladimir Putin, something so specific, so deeply hidden inside the history of the USSR that he would not possibly be able to find himself, referring to Nikita Khrushchev's mistake that he gifted Crimea, this small peninsula, to Ukraine back in the 50s, and that was a mistake. Now, that happened because Musk had a conversation with Vladimir Putin during the war in Ukraine, when that Musk denied later, and Ian Bremner, an independent analyst with a strong reputation, has confirmed. And we have all seen these tweets that Musk has made when he acquired Twitter, and he explaining why Twitter doesn't work and giving these technical explanations. Multiple Twitter engineers called him out on that, saying that is a complete BS, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, they were fired later, unsurprisingly. So much for absolutism and freedom of speech. Fundamentally, though, Musk only cares about stroking his ego, being famous, supporting his hero collaborator status in the world, and de-risking his businesses in case of a World War III or some kind of other disaster. He openly uses his power as a billionaire and social influencer to silence critics, Tesla employees, and other people that get in the way. Musk has bragged about his virtually unmatched volume of knowledge at one point, saying, between Tesla, Starlink, and Twitter, I may have more real-time global economic data in one hand than anyone ever. No doubt about that at all. Perhaps one telling sign how people close to Musk perceive him is the words of his lawyer that he referred to his client, a middle-aged man, as a kid. The more attention Musk seeks, the less trustworthy he looks. For a very long time, his reputation was this intangible asset that benefited his companies, that benefited Tesla in 2008 and coming out of crisis. Then will it also be the reason when people will stop buying the cars? In the end, we have to realize that Musk really cares more about the rocket ships and his celebrity status than people. He chews through them like a tank, and he couldn't care less. And that is where we're at. Thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, liking this video, and leave a comment. What do you think about Elon Musk? I'd love to know, because there's so many polarizing opinions out there. And I'll see you, as always, in the next one.